guy. Two scenarios that I hit this. One, like, for whatever reason, I'm not able to get this arm lock here, or like, right, what's a lot of guys get taught here. So I'm here, a lot of guys, this guy starts getting his back to the mat here a little bit, and I'm having trouble, right? So now, say I'm here, I go for this, and I'm trying to pull this up, and I can't get it. I slip my hand past this, or release here, all right? And there's several variations of this. The first one here, I post this hand right to the mat, and I slide through and compress. All right? That's the trickiest version, that's the trickier version to hit. That posting on the mat, sliding through, is tough to hit. The other version of this, which I a lot of times initially come here and go for this. If I can't get it, I now drop my weight and lock elbow to elbow. Right. He tapped, if you guys can see. It's like catch wrestling. I learned to call it as called a key lock. They also call it like a scissor lock attack. So again, we can even hit this from straight side control here. Anatomy of this. One, you tell I hit this twice. Look at how red his forearm is here. Because I'm going bone on bone. Yeah, it really sucks. So I'm here on this here. My other hand comes up and traps at his wrist. I'm not up here. I'm trapping that wrist. You see what this is doing to his hand as I'm doing it. So it's creating compression. Alright? So I think where this comes in, so if I'm here, my hand's pointing towards me. I come over and I reach for my elbow to elbow. So now this bone of my forearm is out of this forearm. I can press that in, and I can get that tap from that compression right there. If I can, I start to look to rotate this up and up with the shoulder. You can also look to come around, sit this through. Right? There's a whole lot of options with this. I like this one here too, from a straight up because it catch wrestling. Also you can hit the wind. So the nice thing about this is there's a really good control as well. So even if I don't get this submission a lot of times, I can be here, boom, and I'm working in here. Now I can settle, I don't have to rush it. And I can take that nice and slow. Yeah, so I can come in here, if I can pull elbow to elbow, and I pull, almost like a try again. Alright, throw.
Is what's making it tag your forearm, your bone right here to his forearm?
Yes. Yep, and it's almost like a slicer feel. And it's attacking that forearm. If that guy doesn't tap, so the key on that is I go bone to bone. And even though it's bone to bone, it's the same idea of checking a kick. Right? Yes, there's a grinding factor on I beat that kick, but I check it. He's the one getting the brunt of that. And I'm there. If that guy doesn't, so some guys won't tap to that. Straight up, some people I don't know, people just made it weird. They just don't tap to that. So that's where as I compress, I now rotate this through.
There's only you can only squeeze so tight. Right?
Yeah. So if I get to this point here, it doesn't work. It's almost like a straight Kimura finish, where I keep that pressure up and start rotating. So I was drilling this through with Caleb before. Obviously, there's a lot of times here, again, perfect world, that they're maybe this guy's setting into this position here, and I'm just having a hard time finishing that Kimura, he's defending it well. Especially I find sometimes the Kimura and the gi can almost be more difficult to finish in the gi than no gi, because there's just more shit that you can hang on to. Right? You can grab his own lapel, you can grab his belt, you can grab all this stuff. So I may break grip, but he I break that grip and he still manages to grab it, right? We get stuck in like this type of position where I have my femora here, and like, yeah, I got that slack, and it's just like that little bit annoying that I can't get this in. So there's a couple different ways to hit this. All right, so we're gonna kind of start off here with one way, and then progress it. Like this one way is a good way to introduce it here. I like to finish it slightly different position, and I'll go over that with you guys too. But what I look to do from this position here, my hand releases and keeps tight and it plants on the mat. All right, so here, the bone of my hand is on his forearm. I take my fist here and I sit through. All right, so it's like a combination bicep slicer. It can become a shoulder lock. It can become like a lot of different things from here. All right, like it's just actually pretty miserable. Like Ben was saying, like his elbow yesterday was just like he could hardly move his elbow after me demonstrating this in no-gi. But again, what I'm doing is like my forearm coming in here, and like this comes through, and I'm creating a compression here by using. I come over the top, right? I'm right here, like, and I'm getting in here into this nice little smash here. All right, this is like a catch wrestling move. It's not like straight jiu-jitsu. It's like old school catch. So again, I plant this down, and like this is where I have like a lot of times I might not like. I'm introducing it this way here, but it can be difficult to hit and finish from this position. All right. How I prefer to hit this. It's like I get this here, and I still kind of start to punch this down to the mat, but now instead of like sitting through, I almost come into like more of a like back into my side control here. All right, and I look to cinch up and grab my own elbows, and I squeeze in, right? And I can hit this from even like this flattened out position here, and I'm coming in. All right, so like this is also kind of a nice switch up if I'm here, right? And this guy puts his back to the mat to try to beat that Kimura. Boom, I come over the top here, right? So now too, here's the other thing. If I want to turn it into more of a shoulder lock, I can, again, just like that Kimura type finish motion, I rotate up and look it over. All right, so again, I can come in here, compress, here, here. Right? The other thing too is that I was telling guys yesterday, I can do the same thing from Americana. Alright, like other thing too that I like from this position, because it is like a catch, and in catch you can finish by submission or pin. So it's a pin hold as well, especially from this position. Like all of my weight here, like all of my weight is on Ben's chest. So like I'm putting a ton of weight in him. And the biggest problem that guys were having yesterday on this is like they were up here with it. I need to take his elbow and drive his elbow across. Right? I'm trying to like touch his elbow to his armpit. So now, or his wrist to his armpit rather. Sorry. So I'm here, boom, here. So I kind of like how. It's kind of like I'm finding the weak point in his arm. Some guys will tap to like that bicep slicer type position right here. So like I'm also going, another thing is like you can see my own wrist is pretty red right now because I'm going bone on bone. The idea is like the same thing as like checking a kick, right? Like yes, there's force and inherently there's a little bit of discomfort on the guy when you check, like on yourself when you check a kick, but it's 10 times worse for the guy that's throwing that kick. It's like the same thing here. Like there's a little bit of discomfort in that forearm hitting it, but it's 10 times worse for that guy down there.